the old Mopor channel. So, it's been a while. So, let me just tell you how bad I am at this YouTube stuff. So, we switched over from doing it on my camera phone to doing it on a camera. And the software that I use to edit the films is much smarter than I am, okay? Needless to say, I lost a bunch of footage, and I've been battling it for a little bit. But we're gonna get what we have of Delilah, you know, the videos figured out, and get you updated. But for right now, I got another car that I gotta get onto for some friends of mine. So, let's get into it, show you guys what we got. I know it's not a Mopar, but it's pretty cool anyways. So let's get into it. All right, what do we have here, you might be asking? Well, we have the German, the Voodoo, if you may. We have us a Mercedes. What Mercedes is it? Well, it just so happens to be an 82 380 SL. Now, you might be asking yourself, what in God's creation could you possibly be doing to this car? Well, they called me up, told me it wouldn't run. So I told them I'd take a look at it for them and see what we can do. Now, I'm pretty sure fuel pump's not working in it. Can't hear it, can't feel it buzzing down there or anything. So that's going to be where we look into it first. But yeah, pretty cool car. It's definitely the things you notice in this car. I mean, it's an 82, so you know the styling is what it is for an 82, right? But it's a super clean car. But things you notice, like everything is just very stout, very well made. It fits very well. Like everything's aligned so nicely. It's a heavy car for how little it is. I mean, it's just everything is very precise on it compared to everything else in the 80s, especially the early 80s, coming out of the 70s, the gas guzzler crisis, all that. I mean, the quality wasn't there. They were really just stamping the cars out, making them as light as possible, putting 4 cylinders in them, and just get them on the road. I mean, these cars barely lasted 10 years. You know, the metal was so thin, recycled so many times. The engines were kind of crap, whether it was Ford, Chevy, Dodge, really didn't matter. I mean, Toyotas and stuff at the time, that's really when they started to make a name for themselves in foreign markets, because they were better put together. You know, their tolerances were a lot tighter, and the U.S. was just not doing well economically. Economically, is that the right word? Economically? Yeah, whatever. You figure it out. But Mercedes clearly was doing things right, because this car has lasted this long, looks pretty good. I don't know if you're a fan of the brown or not. I don't mind it. It wouldn't have been my choice of color to buy if it were mine. But that's neither here nor there. So, let's get into it, see what we got. So, we got a disconnect on the old battery here. Yep, we have connection. Okay. Ooh, door chimes. Well, that's the longest it's ran when we tried. Yeah. Let me cycle key again. I'm gonna show you guys where we're talking here. So the fuel pump on this thing is down below. Look at that. Look at that. Frickin' easy peasy to get to. I really don't mind the location of that. So I'm gonna go grab a meter, and I'm gonna start testing power here, because it could be a relay or anything else. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that the fuel pump's bad, but we'll let me get the camera set up, and we'll get the fuel pump or the meter and see if we got power down here. Whew. All right, guys, wouldn't you just know it? Got our leads up on the fuel pump. It's very hard to do this with one-handers, but then we're looking at our meter here. We're on the old 12-volt DC setting. We got 0, which means we got either a wiring or relay or fuse issue or whatever. So we'll look into that next. All right, got you set up inside the car. Got the old glove box. Look at that. Can you guys see that? Ah, you can't see it. Ah, you know what? I got you set up. I just think it's funny they got a tape and the old tape deck over here. Nostalgia. So, anyways, got to pull these clips very carefully. Remember, doesn't matter how great the car was built or not. I mean, thing's still an 82, guys. So, just take your time. Old plastic. Here we go. And let's see if we can get the base out of this one. Oh, yep. Got it. All right, 2 more up top, I believe. I'm sure you're staring at the back of my head right now. In case you're wondering, they do make the proper tool for this. And I did own it, but kind of broke it. It's the handle's all swailing around on the piece that does the worky-hoo, and yeah, time to buy a new one. So, screwdriver it is. Makes me actually less frustrated than the quote-unquote tool that I have for it. I'll make sure I put these back together so I don't lose them. Yep. Oh, jeepers. Come on, baby. Last one. Eat up underneath there. There you go. That is a tiny, tiny, tiny glove box. I don't have to. Be nice if that would just kind of hop around. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, get it back. Let's go. Be that hard fought of a battle, but it's turning into it. Okay, there's a light up there. Oh, light ski. Hopefully I can get this out far enough to get that unplugged. Oh, there we go. Pops apart. Oh. The old light covering's been messed with a few times, it looks like. Brown one goes on the left. Not that matters, but try to put it back the way we get it. Oh, what do we got some there? I'm gonna need to get me a light. It's darker than that in there. Oh, yep. Okay. I'm gonna get a light. Be right back. All right, let's just take a little peek at this monster in here. Let's see if I can back up. We're in the glove box now. Okay. Fuel pump relay. That monster right there. Looking to the right. Oh yeah. Get a zoom in on her. Not very good. Look at that, not focus. Alright. Wow. Okay, so we'll figure out. Oh, that just pulls out of there just like any old relay does. I'm going to see what our options are for getting this thing, this bad boy. Sometimes it's just a matter of, reseating them. I'll obviously try that, but yeah, we'll go for there. Alright, so my dumbass forgot to hit the mic button when I recorded the beginning of this clip. So basically, here I'm just explaining how I took the relay, cleaned the terminals, and popped it back in, hit the key, and wouldn't you know it, the darn thing fires right up. Fuel pump runs good. About midway through the clip, I realized the mic is off and turn it back on. Here, I'm just, well, I would be showing you that the fuel pump's humming right along. And the mic turns on shortly here. Forgot to turn the mic on. Yep. Hopefully you guys heard anything I said. Well, freaking A, huh? Well, she's stuttering a little bit. Well, my God, does that thing smell terrible. Got a little bit of yeah, little clouds coming out of it. Sure, it hasn't been driven in forever. Oh yeah, yep. That's not very. That's not very good gasoline. Look at that. Poor things. Yeah, working on the window tint on old Delilah. Tired of sitting in an old fish bowl, magnifying glass, if you will. So. What do we got? How are our gauges doing here? Oh God, they got a half a tank of that nasty in there. Whew. Oh, I gotta take this phone call, guys. Alright, so I wasn't happy with the way the relay, I don't know. He had told me that it was intermittent on him before, and I was like, well, I need to try to figure this out. So I took the relay apart. Let me go over and grab the piece here. So I took the silicone went around the edge here, took and cut that apart. When I opened it up, I seen that there was a bad solder joint. I don't know why it's so blurry on the screen, but yeah, bad solder joint in there. So I ended up soldering that back together. We're gonna put it together and see if it's better, if it's still good to go. So yeah. All right, so got the car running, and that's great and dandy. But yeah, so the shifter was very, very sloppy, very hard to get into reverse or neutral, drive, whatever. You had to go past where you wanted to go. in order to pop it in. So I crawled underneath and I looked at it, and you got the shift rod here, and I'm sure there was supposed to be some factory bushings or something on it, but these little ends here were very wallered out in the transmission side of it. So I just made some bushings, some bronze bushings here that are going to take up that slop a little bit. So I'll put those on, and I'll go underneath. It's just clipped in there, just a safety clip on each end. Very easy to get at, very easy to work on. So I'm going to get in there and put that back in, see if we can tighten up that shifter, make it a lot nicer for him. All right, let's go take this thing for a test drive. Yep, that was a success. She's starting to run a little better. Yeah, needs a bunch of work, but they just wanted me to get it running. So, there it is. Boom!